Today on Movie Scores, I review How to Train Your Dragon 2 and run down my top 5 favorite John Powell scores. First up today, I want to talk to you about the score for How to Train Your Dragon 2. It was composed by John Powell, who's composed music for things like Kung Fu Panda, the Bourne series, and The Italian Job. He's got a long list, which is why I'm doing a countdown of my top 5 favorite scores composed by him. But first, let's talk about How to Train Your Dragon 2. Now, I'm a sucker for animated movies, and John Powell scores just about every DreamWorks production there is. And that's for good reason. This man is gifted when it comes to creating scores for movies like this. If you take the time to notice while you're watching an animated film, most of that charm that you get during the movie is due to the music. Scores like this include a lot of classic score elements, like a big orchestra with strings and a percussion section that includes a lot of bells and xylophones. There's music to emphasize every little joke and action, and it just makes you feel good. Or, in this case, no spoilers here, it makes you cry. Not that I cried like 12 times. I mean, I didn't cry 12 times during this movie. Anyway, if you need a score to pick your spirits up, listen to this one. Actually, go listen to the first one as well. It earned John Powell an Oscar nomination in the 83rd Academy Awards. I give this score a 4.5 out of 5. And I don't even give half points, but it's that good. It's that good. So going along with How to Train Your Dragon 2, I want to do a top 5 countdown of John Powell scores. Now, I'm not saying that these are the best technically by John Powell, but just my top 5 favorites. So starting out with number 5, we have the score for the original Shrek, which Powell co-composed with Harry Gregson Williams. But really, who doesn't love Shrek? Will Smith in I Am Legend loves Shrek, and that's gotta mean something. Maybe, if you like that movie, or Will Smith. Shrek is just the epitome of a fairy tale score done right. In the number 4 slot is Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I think this score fits the movie so perfectly, and it's what really adds the charm of the movie. And I think that's where John Powell really shines, is adding this charm factor to his scores. Also, I dare you to, when you're flipping through channels, maybe you come across FX and Mr. and Mrs. Smith is on. Don't watch it. It's impossible. Number 3 is Jumper. Now, this movie may be one of my guilty pleasures, but there's no arguing that the score is great. In fact, it's most definitely the best part of the movie. Powell includes some really cool electric guitar elements that give life to Hayden Christensen's character. Even if Hayden might not have. Number 2 on my list is the first How to Train Your Dragon. Not only is this an awesome movie, but the score is really impressive. I don't know how many times I said whimsical in this episode, but this score is whimsically whimsical. This score is why I love movie scores. The movie just wouldn't be the same without it. For me, it adds all the emotion to the movie, and that's what movie scores are all about, getting emotion out of your audience. And finally, my number 1 choice has to go to Drumline. Now, if you know me, then you know that this is my favorite movie. Like, of all time. This movie is why I started drumming, and I think it's a really underappreciated film. Not only is the music absolutely fantastic, but the cinematography is great, done by Shane Hurlbutt. But I digress. This is a movie score show, and I'm only going to talk about movie scores. It incorporates marching band music, which is just so cohesive with the story. For the question of if a movie score really fits in its movie, there's no better example. The drumline score is really a 5 out of 5 in my book. Maybe not technically, but emotionally. So I've talked your ear off, and that's it for my countdown. Let me know what your favorite John Powell score is below. And until next time, go listen to some movies. It's a score sandwich that you just want to... It's so good. It's filled with juicy score tomatoes and lots of score lechuga. I don't know what I'm saying.